Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 4th of December, 2016, ending Friday, the 9th. Hope you're having a good trading week or had a good trading week. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. It didn't do much, pulled back a little bit this week, but overall kind of retraced the same range for most of the 5 days. We did obviously top out the week before so far. Anyways, let's go through the major pairs on the daily charts, then we'll look at the intra-week action. So here's the euro, pretty much the inverse of what the dollar index did. They're so tied together these days, it's not very exciting. Pound dollar rose a little bit this week. Two trades that could have been huge trades just barely stopped us out before they ran and worked. It's all right, we'll keep our system anyways. Aussie dollar didn't do much, basically closing right where it came into the week. Pound yen rose back a bit. Euro yen also rising. Pound Swiss also rising, nothing near a 13 sell signal yet, and the New Zealand dollar pair also rising. So again, the dollar getting a little bit weaker here this week. All right, let's look at what happened during the week in 30-minute candles. Euro dollar high to low for the week is only about 130 pips, which is obviously not very exciting. It's basically untradeable. That's usually 1 day's range, not 1 week's range. Pound dollar, on the other hand, was much better at 350 pips or so. But again, two of the nice moves. We had the orders in, we had the trades right. They just barely stopped us out before they went ahead and worked without us. So overall, it's just kind of a tame week for us, which is fine. Not every week has to be as exciting. All right, let's look at the roadmap for the week ahead. Let's see what we have to look forward to as we're now in December officially. All right, so on Sunday, Italy's got their Constitution Amendment vote. Keep an eye on that. That could affect the euro. AIG Services Index and MI inflation gains out of Australia. ANZ commodity prices out of New Zealand, and ANZ job advertisements out of Australia. This is all Sunday night. China's Caixin Services PMI, and then going into Monday, we've got the Japanese consumer confidence number, Spanish, Italian, French, German, and European broad sector final services PMI, Centix investor confidence. UK's got their services PMI data. Europe's retail sales. Final services PMI here out of the U.S. in the morning, and then labor market conditions index. Got a Fed member speaking at 2 in the afternoon. New Zealand's building consents, and then Japan average cash earnings. BRC retail sales monitor out of the UK. This is Monday night going into Tuesday. Australia's rate announcement out of the Bank of Australia and the current account number. German factory orders. CPI out of Switzerland. Retail PMI for Europe as a whole. Revised GDP out of Europe. We get the UK's 10-year bond auction. Canada trade balance. US trade balance. That's one of our big three each month. We just had the non-farm payroll data, so we'll be half-size Monday night going into Tuesday ahead of that data. GDT price index. Canada's IB PMI. Factory orders and IBD tip optimism, economic optimism out of the US. Manufacturing sales out of New Zealand. AIG construction index. GDP out of Australia. Wednesday, leading indicators out of Japan, German industrial production, French trade balance, Switzerland's foreign currency reserves, UK's Halifax HPI, Italy's quarterly unemployment rate, 11%, nice. Manufacturing production and industrial production out of the UK, 30-year bond auction out of the UK. Canada's overnight, this is a rate announcement out of the Bank of Canada, right? We've got JOLTS job openings here in the US, crude oil inventories, consumer credit, current account out of Japan, final GDP, and bank lending out of Japan. This is all Wednesday. Now, Wednesday evening still. Australia's trade balance, China's trade balance, 30-year bond auction out of Japan, French final non-farm payrolls. Italy goes on bank holiday after the big vote from Sunday, the bank holiday on Friday. This is going, no, that's Thursday, actually. Wow. Minimum bid rate out of Europe. So it's the ECB. Housing, that's their, by the way, the ECB rate announcements. So we've got a couple of rate announcements this week. Australia, Canada, and Europe. Housing starts out of Canada, building permits out of Canada, capacity utilization rate, unemployment claims out of the U.S., natty gas out of the U.S., Japan's BSI manufacturing index, Australia's home loans, China's CPI and PPI. And then going into Friday, preliminary machine tool orders out of Japan, unemployment rate out of Switzerland, German trade balance, French budget balance, and industrial production. UK's got their trade balance. US has preliminary University of Michigan sentiment and final wholesale inventories. So there's a lot of data this week. You know, the big one obviously being the There's some of the rate announcements and then the trade balance in the U.S. Tuesday morning in terms of Forex. So we'll be half size ahead of that. But other than that, we are full size these days. We've gone back to it, and we'll see what we get. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for the week or two. Have a couple of great trading days.